Can you hear me? Good afternoon. How's everyone doing? Everyone just had lunch or is eating lunch? Did you guys bring any for the presenters? Just checking. Okay. So the title of this session is Build Your First App for the AppExchange. So what we're going to talk about today is if you have a killer idea for a CRM add-on, or you want to use the Salesforce platform as a runtime environment for an app, we're going to talk to you about what that means and how to bring it to market. If that's not what you're interested in, you're in the wrong place. Just checking, okay? So let's get going. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Randy Case. I'm on the AppExchange team. I'm what they call a technical evangelist, which is a fancy term for propeller head. I am a technical person who works on the ISV team, and I work with new and existing partners in helping them bring products to the AppExchange. Okay, I've been with the company 13 years, the last 5 of it with the AppExchange team. And working with me today is one of my colleagues, Maggie Hugh, and I'll let Maggie introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maggie Hugh. I've been with Salesforce for about a year now, and I'm on the same team with Randy. I'm a technical evangelist. I've actually been working with mostly middleware most of my career, and I actually did integrations with Salesforce for 5 years or so. So that's it.
Great. So let's get going. Let's talk about the agenda today. It really is broken down into three pieces. I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about what the AppExchange program is like. It's a very high level. How do we look at partners and those types of programs that we have, and what type of apps do you see that we see coming into the AppExchange? We're also going to talk about what type of apps you can build. There's 3 or 4 different common architectures or types of apps that our partners build, or prospective partners like to build, to make add on to our CRM or to what they want to build. And then lastly, we're going to talk about getting started. So where do you want to start? You have this really great idea. You have something that's going to make our CRM even better. And you want to build it. You want to package it up. You want to put it on the AppExchange. You want to sell it as an individual or a company. How do you get started going down that path? And there's a lot of resources out there we'll talk about. And then obviously we'll wrap up with Q&A. So also during this, we're going to do some demo. Maggie's going to show you some really cool stuff that we have that helps you as an ISV build your applications and get information. So let's get going on that. So let's talk about the forward-looking statement. How many people, this is your first time at Trailhead? Okay, wow, quite a few.
Wow.
So you will see this about 4,000 times between today and tomorrow, right? Our legal department makes us say this in every presentation we ever do across our entire company. We actually have this memorized, most of the employees do. The forward-looking statement basically says that you need to buy our products or build anything that has to do with our products based on current functionality today and not anything that I would promise you or talk about that's in the future. The good thing about this presentation is we're not really going to talk about anything in the future. Everything I'm going to talk about today, technology and everything, exists today, and you're free to use it, okay? So moving on, let's talk about why people build apps on the AppExchange, right? Why do they build add-ons? First of all, it's why our customers buy our platform. Why do customers buy your CRM? It has to do with we're the trusted cloud platform. We have a great reputation for preserving and protecting data of our customers. And when our customers purchase our CRM and put their critical customer data in there, they're assured that it's safe. So it's really a big issue around trust. This was a huge barrier many years ago when Salesforce first started, that companies wouldn't put information in the cloud. They thought it was dangerous. And today we've really focused on being the trusted cloud platform. We're also the single system of engagement. And we're a single CRM system where customers can track their sales. Service Cloud allows them to do their service. They can even build custom applications. So it's just not a single application. Our environment, our platform, and our CRM has grown over time and become an area where companies can put a lot of different types of information. And the last is constant innovation. And constant innovation means that we upgrade and modify our platform 3 times a year to give our customers new features. Okay? And part of that constant innovation story is around our partners. We can't do everything. Salesforce can't build every single feature. As much as we'd probably like to try to, we can't build every feature that our customer needs. And so it's important that we have a strong ISV ecosystem that helps build these add-ons to CRM and make our CRM much more richer and much more a value for our customers. And so that's why it's important and why we have the AppExchange. By the way, how many people have heard of the AppExchange? Okay, so the AppExchange is our online marketplace. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it, but that is our online marketplace where our customers can get applications. Okay? So why do you want to be a partner of Salesforce? Besides building some add-on, there's a lot of benefits to it. First, you get access to our 150,000+ customers. Okay? So when you go up on the AppExchange, our customers are trained and know to go to the AppExchange when they're looking for add-ons. They want to do something unique with opportunities. They want to do something unique with sales, unique with Service Cloud. They're looking for mapping technology. They know to go to the AppExchange is the first place they want to go to look. And if your app's on the AppExchange, you're going to get exposure to those customers. It's one trusted platform, so you get access to the technology. So you're going to be able to build your add-on on top of the platform. In some cases, and we'll talk about this a little bit later, you may have some external technology you want to marry to the platform, and we certainly can do that. And that's really, really cool. So you as an ISV get access to the trusted platform as well. And then you get access to the ecosystem. Right now, there's over 3,000 apps out there. And there's a whole lot about our partner ecosystem. So it's just not about the technology, but there's actually marketing programs. There's being able to be a presenter here at our user conference called Dreamforce. If you went back out here in the area, you see that we have partners out here that are exhibiting. As an ISV, you get opportunities to do things like exhibit at events like that. So the key point here is being an AppExchange partner opens up a lot of benefits beyond just having an app on the AppExchange. And the last part I want to point out is the AppExchange has experienced tremendous growth. In 2006 is when the AppExchange launched, and what we do, the metric we track on the AppExchange is the number of installs. And we've steadily grown over the last, 12 years. We're over 4 million. Actually, I think we've hit 5 million installs, or coming up on 5 million installs. The key metric here is the fact that 83% of our customers use AppExchange apps. Again, as I said earlier, it's a place, and we educate them and tell them to go to find their solutions they need to run their business on the or run their business on Salesforce. Okay? So now you know why you want to do this. So what can you build? And so we talk about there's two worlds within the AppExchange: ISV Force and OEM. ISV Force is what we call applications that are add-ons to our CRM. They're a mapping application that allows me to map all my accounts and how far they're away from my corporate location. That's an add-on. It's taking data from the CRM side and it's merging it into something else or doing something else with it. It's the same with the Service Cloud. I want to take all my cases and I want to run some analysis on them and figure out what needs to be done on the case next, okay? And so that's where you're building an app that's add-on to Salesforce, and it's going to be used by existing Salesforce customers. We call that ISV Force, okay? What you may not know is that Salesforce can actually be used as a development platform and a delivery platform for applications that have nothing to do with Salesforce, okay? And so, for example, you might have an idea for a really great application that you want to build, and when you start thinking about, well, how am I going to build it? Do I go to AWS? Do I go to Microsoft Azure? Or do I go to Heroku? Well, guess what? You can use our platform as an environment to deliver your application. And we allow you to sell the licenses as part of your application. And we're going to dive into these two concepts here a little bit more, right? App architectures. So when you start building an app, there's kind of three main architectures that we always see. One on the left-hand side is native. That means your add-on that you've built to the CRM is 100% built on top of our platform. It uses all the technology, it uses workflow, it uses custom objects, it uses Apex, it uses Visualforce, Lightning components, whatever you may need to actually build it. So it's 100% native. In the upper right-hand corner is another type of app we see called composite. So you may work for a company or you may have some killer technology that you built outside of Salesforce. Maybe you have something that does mass email really well, or you have something that does territory analysis really well, and it's already pre-built. You've started your own company and you're running these apps, and you've built some APIs. So therefore, you can then integrate those into Salesforce. And so what you're going to build on top of Salesforce is what we call like an integration app. You're going to use some of the Salesforce's technology to integrate and marry your app into Salesforce. So Salesforce users can use it very easily. And the last is what we call API only. API only means you're going to use our data APIs to suck a bunch of data out of our customer's org, manipulate it, and then push it back in again. And those are things like data enhancement or data quality. I want to suck out all the addresses, fix those addresses, and put them all back in again, okay? So what the unique thing about that is they typically don't require any components on top of Salesforce. It's just strictly an API-only type integration, okay? So those are the three primary type architectures that we support and that honestly, 99% of our partners build. So let's talk about ISP Force a little bit more. This is a partner called SpringCM. So SpringCM is an ISV Force partner that does contract lifecycle management. So we have contracts inside of Salesforce. We have a basic contracts module. But they wanted to take it to the next level. Customers said, look, I love your contracts module, but there's a lot of things it doesn't do. And so SpringCM saw an opportunity to build an add-on to Salesforce to take advantage of its contracts module, but enhance it. And enhance it with things like approvals and routing and all kinds of stuff that really, the whole lifecycle of contract management that really didn't exist today. And they found a really good niche market for doing that. Now, I talked about the OEM model, the platform. So if you talk about our platform, forget the CRM, forget the Sales Cloud, forget the Service Cloud. Think of it as a development platform. You'll see that we have a lot of rich building blocks for building applications. We have a database, we have a business layer, and we have a UI layer. And so you can actually use it to build applications and deliver it. And this is what we call the OEM model. So if you look at a company like Fairsale built a native comprehensive HR solution, a human resources solution around hiring and tracking people. Has nothing to really do with CRM, has nothing to do with sales or service. But they like the way our platform worked. They like the fact that they could build a lot of stuff declaratively and actually write code to do what else they needed to do. And so they use it as a development platform. And when they go sell their application, they're selling predominantly to non-Salesforce customers. And when they do, they sell the app. They're not selling Salesforce, they're selling the app. But when they actually go to deploy the app, they're selling the licenses for the platform underneath to actually run their app. So these are two different models that really work well in our environment. So just as a quick reminder or a quick note, if you go to the AppExchange, there's some other AppExchange types out there besides just applications. There's standalone Lightning components, Lightning bolts, Einstein Analytics, and Lightning data. These are all relatively new, and there are ISVs that are building out like Lightning components and Lightning bolts, which are community templates or analytic templates or data enrichment services and apps. It's a small but rapidly growing environment of the AppExchange. So let's talk about getting started. So now you know why you want to do it. You know the different type of apps. How do you say, I've got an idea, where do I start? Okay, how do I get information? And so this is the journey. And we're going to talk about each of these. You're going to join the partner community. You're going to learn about our technology from Trailhead. You're going to build your application on top of the platform, and then you're going to launch it through your listing on the AppExchange. So let's talk about the partner community. The partner community is the first place you want to go. It is the place where you go, you sign up free of charge, and you get access to a ton of resources that you use to actually build your application, all the way from technology to technology, all the way to best practices and design resources. This is such an important part of the partner journey that we're going to have Maggie show you a demo, kind of a drive-by, if you will, of the partner community so you can get a feel for all the rich information and that's out there today.
Okay. So just by a quick show of hands, who have seen partner community? Okay, cool. All right, very cool. So this is actually the landing page of our partner community. If you have already obtained a login, you probably have seen some in there.
Eric, it isn't projecting. Is there something we need to do? Sorry, always technical difficulties.
It should be mirroring. That's very strange.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let's see here. Partner community demo. Is that part of your? Is this one of your pages though?
Yeah, that's the PowerPoint.
That's the PowerPoint.
So let's. I can find it.
How many people here are local to the San Francisco area, Bay Area? Okay, cool.
Why is it not?
Yeah, because if we can find the PowerPoint icon, how about if we just
Well, let's see, what else can we talk about? How was lunch?
can we minimize this?
Yeah.
It looked good. I haven't eaten lunch yet, so I'm actually getting hungry. So it looked good from what I saw there. So.
Okay, so go there. If you can keep that, there you go. Go PowerPoint.
So what Maggie's going to show you as they're getting ready is the partner community is, a lot of you already are in the partner community, so you know what it is. But there's a lot of rich information in there about how to build your application,
So we got
how to
Trailhead.
interact with people on the ISV team,
is
my
mine?
counterparts, and me on the ISV team when you're getting ready to build an app. It also allows you to get access to our technology, and I'm going to talk a little bit more here after the demo about what the technology is that you get access to in helping to build your application. The other thing is there's a lot of stuff out there around collaboration and how to talk about getting information. There we go. There we go. All right, so Maggie's going to take you, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but we're going to take you through a kind of a brief narration of what's on the AppExchange, because it's the partner community, because it's very, very important, because it is the best place for you to start and get information about what's going on.
Right. Okay, so what you're seeing here is actually when you're already logging in as an existing user. So if you have not obtained a login before, basically is you go to partners.salesforce.com as a URL. What you're seeing here is I'm already logged in as an existing user. And at the top, you could see all the tabs. So the home tab is basically this is a one-stop shop that you could get everything. And on the home tab, you can see like a calendar of events, webinars that we have, also the latest chatter posts. And basically, the second tab that you see here, collaboration, it basically uses our own Salesforce chatter groups. So you could collaborate with other partners in the community, as well as the Salesforce employees, like technical evangelists like us. This is a great source of getting your questions answers, anything that you have as a partner, as an ISV. And then we have the education tab, the third one. Education tab basically will give you the resources and the tools like Trailhead, any Trailhead modules and badges that you have completed, you could see a quick view there. And also certifications, you could keep track of your certifications, and all the different phases that you will build an app, from planning your app, from building your app, to distributing your app, marketing, selling. All those phases, we provide the related resources and tools to help you throughout all this process. And then there's news and events. Of course, you could see the latest the news articles, webinars, blog posts, and then we have the support, which allows you to create new cases or existing case. You can manage your existing cases for both your customers as a partner, as well as for yourself or your own company. And then we have the publishing console, which I'm actually going to go into. Before I get into publishing console, you could also manage users. So within your company, as a partner, you could invite new users. You could manage users and manage their permissions within partner community. But the last place I'm going to start is the publishing console. And publishing console is basically where you're going to either create a new listing or you can manage existing listings of your app. So as you can see here, I actually have two apps right here. They're both Recruit apps. So this is where you get to manage your existing listing. We'll get back to this in a little bit. I'm going to pass it back to Randy to talk about.
Let's see if we can get the slides to come back up now.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. But they didn't come back up. That is really odd. As much as there it goes.
Good.
Okay, so we got kind of jumped ahead here. Okay, so we did the partner community. Trailhead. Obviously, you guys know about Trailhead. Everyone heard of Trailhead? Okay, Trailhead is our learning modules. The key here is that there are learning modules out there about ISV and about how to build an app on the AppExchange. Specifically, there is a Trailhead called Build Apps as an AppExchange Partner. And you'll see all the names of the modules listed underneath there. I'm not going to go into all of them. But this is what you can go in to easily learn about the AppExchange program and how to build apps. There are certain design things that you need to know to build your application on the AppExchange. There are security considerations. There's a whole thing called a security review that your app needs to go to. We're not going to spend a lot of time on it. That's a whole other session, actually, that we could talk about. But there is a thing that your app has to go through the very first time called a security review. And so there are certain security considerations you need to understand when you build your application. And all that stuff is actually built out on the Trailhead, okay? Let's talk about building your app. You've learned how to build it. Now you actually want to go and build it. Typically, most partners need multiple environments. We have something, you get a part of the Salesforce world called an org. We call it an organization or an org for short. An org, if you're not familiar with it, is what you log into that gives you access to the platform and everything like that. You actually need multiple orgs to do your development environment, or development. You actually need an org to create your development environment in. You need an org for testing, maybe an org for beta, maybe you need an org for QA, UIT, all these different things. So as part of the partner program, you get access to a tool called the Environment Hub. And the Environment Hub allows you to spin up multiple Salesforce orgs with a variety of different configurations that allow you to build and test your app so it works across our entire customer base. Okay? So that's a tool that we give you at no charge as part of the partner program. And so that allows you to create your dev and your test and QA orgs. Okay? Now, you've got this wonderful app. It's built in your dev org on top of Salesforce. How do you get it to a customer? Okay? So we have this concept we call packaging. What we do is you have the way of taking all the stuff that makes up your application on Salesforce and bundling it up into a package. We call it a managed package. That package then allows you to go and distribute it to your customers. It makes it installable. There's a URL, and Maggie's going to show you this. We're going to do a brief demo of this. You're going to get a URL that you can give to customers, and they can use that URL to actually install their package on the app or into their org, so a customer can try it out. Now, there's also a link on the AppExchange, you may have seen it if you've been out there, called Get It Now. A lot of times when you click Get It Now, it allows you to install a package, and that's a decision you can make of how you want customers to install your package. The Get It Now allows a customer to get and install the package right away. Okay? So the managed package is the key mechanism for distributing your app. And so Maggie's just going to give you a brief overview of the packaging and show you how easy and quickly you can package your application.
Okay. All right. So I am actually, again, not showing up.
We might get this figured out by the end of the presentation.
Sorry about that. How about now?
You got to slide it over, whatever that means.
Got it.
We're apparently not good at sliding it over. There you go.
But then I can't see.
And then you can't see it. Well, actually try to slide it back out. Can you do it from that way?
I can't see the screen on my laptop here. So it's...
That's okay.
Yeah, okay. All right, I'll try to do the best I can. Okay, so on this screen that you're seeing here, this is actually the setup of the packaging org that Randy mentioned earlier, where you're going to start packaging all the components that you have built as an app, right? So this package manager, the first screen here, basically allows you to start creating a new package. So as you can see here, there are two types of package. One is the managed, and the other one is the unmanaged. So managed is actually what most of our partners will use. Basically, it gives you the benefit of letting you do push upgrades and any pull upgrades, and that also gives you the IP protection. So for your company's protection, and then basically it's supported on the AppExchange. There's also one thing that I want to point out here, which is the namespace prefix. This is unique. So basically any like custom objects and fields that you create, they're all going to have this unique namespace prefix to it. So what you're seeing here, I actually have a managed package and an unmanaged package. And the unmanaged package basically is the opposite of managed. So basically it's not supported. You don't get the IP protection. You don't get the upgrades, tooling, and resources that you need. So with that, I'm going to get into this managed package. All right. So if you can see here, these are all the components that are within my managed package. You could have a connected app, you could have custom objects, you could have all the different components within Salesforce, Apex classes, all of them packaged into this one managed package. You could add new components. If I click on Add, and if I click on this drop-down, you could see all of the different types of components you could add, just like the custom objects that I mentioned. And it is so tiny that I can't see. I was hoping to click on the custom objects.
Down, 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 up, slow, stop, down one. There you go.
All right. So,
teamwork.
I need glasses. All right, so these are the custom objects that I have created for my Recruit app. So I currently have like a job custom object that I could add to this package. So what I will go ahead and do is select the job and add to package. And that is going to be added to my package. And now I have this because I already had some other components in there. I'm going to package it up as a new version. So if I click on the upload here after adding this new custom object, basically, you're going to give it the version name as well as the number. So you're going to increment a new number because it's a new release, minor release of your managed package. So let me type in. I'm going to increment it to 1.4. And down here, there are two types. One is the managed release. The other one is the managed beta. When you select managed release, that means that you're ready to list your app on the AppExchange, which we'll get into later on when we talk about the publishing console. And then the managed beta is basically when you're still doing development, internal development, testing. That's the option that you could choose. You could add release notes as well as the post-install instructions along with that, with the upload. You could password protect your package. And there are some other additional requirements that you could add to your managed package as well. So with that, if I go ahead and click on upload, that's basically...
That's fine. Go ahead. It hit cancel by mistake, so...
Did I can't see. Yeah.
That's fine. So what she's talking about is you can see how easy it is to manage package. And there's 2 points that she mentioned. I want to make sure you understand what a managed package. One is it protects your IP. So if you write Apex code and things like that, your customers can't see that code. Okay? The other thing is anything you upload to a customer through a managed package, they cannot change, which means they can't change anything that would break your application. And that's the key component of a managed package. The last part of it is upgrades. Because the managed package, and Salesforce controls what goes in the managed package and how it's being deployed, you can create new managed packages and use them to upgrade your customers, and we can control the upgrade process so that nothing gets broken, okay? So through managed packages, you're actually able to perform push upgrades, or customers can pull the upgrades and make it work.
Right. So this is like where you could see the different versions of your package, and this is where you could do the push upgrade.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right, let's see if we can get back to the slides. We're almost done with the slides. Sort of. Kind of slide it over. There we go. It's just hiding behind there. So go ahead and, yeah. There we go. So we talk about packaging. We talk about publishing your app. So once you've got your app package, what you do is you upload. That upload button that Maggie showed you pushes it up to the AppExchange area. And now that your package is in the AppExchange area, you go and create your listing. And your listing is where it's going to look like on the AppExchange, okay? And so Maggie's going to show you just in a minute or two here what that's going to look like, what you're publishing. It's very, very important. This is where you're going to put all kinds of information about how you're going to sell your app, what your company is, all that stuff. So she will take you to, and we'll use this recruiting as an example when she drills into the listing here. And she'll start off and show you what it looks like. We have a preview function. So she'll show you what the AppExchange looks like, and then she'll discuss a little bit about how it got there.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So I mentioned earlier, where this is the publishing console where you could create new listing or manage existing listings. So I'm going into my existing app right now, which is Recruit 1.6, and as you can see here, there are different tabs area that you could do. But basically, if you have seen the listings on AppExchange already, this is gives you a preview of what the app would look like. So you could actually have screenshots of your app. You could have videos. You could have test drives, the description, some details down here about your app. And if I come back into the publishing console, this is basically where the area where you're going to fill out in order to have that listing on AppExchange. So as you can see here, this first step is actually the business plan. This is where you're going to fill out information about your business, also the technical details, some architecture. You submit it to the AppExchange team, and we're going to review it and get back to you. And then this text area is basically where you fill out, where you see on the AppExchange listing, the details, the title, description, your company URL, so all the information associated with your app. And then the media is where you could upload a logo for your app. So if you want your app to look like really, really attractive, so people want to download, and this is where you could do that, as well as the screenshots that I mentioned. You can upload videos. And then if I come into this app one, this is where you get to select your package that you just uploaded up on within the packaging org that we were just in. And of course, you could select the different versions because you would end up with different versions. You could select that. And then also you could create the trials is the place where you could offer a test drive for your customers, and then as well as a free trial org for that. Leads, it helps you, you could, any customers interacting with your app, like downloading or doing a test drive. You could also have campaigns for your app. So the leads would be generated by the listing. And then also pricing. There are different types of pricing. You could have free or paid, for your app, definitely. So this is basically the publishing console that you could get your package and your app up on AppExchange listing. So, and of course, after you're done with that, you could do a preview, and that's basically the screen that you're seeing here.
Good. All right. So let's switch back to slides one more time. It's the last time. We'll see how long it takes. We can get there. As Maggie has shown you, the publishing console is where you put your brand on the AppExchange. This is what you do. A lot of bigger companies, this is where the marketing team gets involved and actually gets to put information up on there. And it really is making your own brand on the AppExchange, okay? Oh, sorry, wrong way. So to recap, here's what you do. You join the partner community. You go to Trailhead and learn. You build on the platform, you launch on the AppExchange. We do have a dedicated URL called joinappexchange.com, which will get you to another area of the partner community very, very quickly where you can learn about these steps, all right? Lastly, resources. The developer website. Obviously, you guys know about developer.salesforce.com. There's a lot of stuff out there about being in the ISV program. Out on that developer website is something we call the ISP Force Guide. This is a document that talks about and is in the instruction manual for all ISV-specific technology that Salesforce provides today. So it talks about Publishing Console, it talks about Environment Hub, it talks about a lot of other tools that we didn't cover that you have access to. Partner community, we talked about the partner community and how important that is. And then Trailhead for learning. So that's where you're going to learn about all the different ISV stuff. The last comment I want to make is this. Everything that Maggie and I have showed you today and discussed is available to you as an ISV at no cost to you. You do not have to pay anything up front to Salesforce to get access to technology, to get into our ISV programs, and to get help with all that different technology. So it is a really great way to become an ISV. So I thank you for your time. I thank you for our technical challenges, helping us get through our technical challenges and putting up with that. We have about 3 or 4 minutes left. We're going to take some Q&A. Maggie and I will be outside in the hall afterwards if you guys have any other questions as well. So having said that, does anyone have any questions? Yes, sir.
What does a revenue model look like? At what point do I pay Salesforce? How does that work?
Sure. So the simple answer is when you start selling your application, getting revenue for it, you pay Salesforce. They take a percentage is how we do it, okay? That's basically the answer. So you don't pay us anything until you start making money on your application. Yes, sir.
What are the requirements for getting an ISV business org?
So the ISV business org is part of the partner community sign-up process. So when you sign up for the partner community, one of the things that happens in the background, as soon as you get approved in the partner community, you will get your partner business org, which includes things like the Environment Hub and some other tools that we didn't really get as much into as part of that. So that's part of the technology we give you as part of joining the partner community. It is temporary until you sign a contract with Salesforce, and then once you sign a contract with Salesforce, it becomes permanent. Sure.
The audience can use the Q&A mic.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir. Now, when you talk about certified, so he's asking about certified SIs versus certified ISVs?
Certified, to join as an AppExchange partner and join as a consulting partner. What's the difference?
The difference, so our consulting partners or SIs are people who do implementations or companies that do implementations of Salesforce. Okay, so if I'm a big company and I buy Salesforce, I buy Service Cloud or Sales Cloud, and I need someone to help come in and help me implement it, I'm going to go to an SI. That's what they specialize is integration. ISVs are actually software development companies that build applications on top of our platform. So they're not really doing implementation at our customers. They're not helping customers roll out. What they're doing is they're building apps that complement our CRM system. So think about, the SIs are consulting companies. The ISVs are software development companies. That's the typical profile. Yes, sir.
Number one mistake you see new AppExchange partners make?
Number one mistake I see AppExchange partners make is not going out to Trailhead and going through some of the stuff that's very specific to our platform around architectural design and security view. There's a whole concept I touched on called security view. We didn't cover it here because it's kind of a big deep subject. But your app, when you build it the very first time, will go through a security review at Salesforce. And so you submit your application to Salesforce. Our security review team goes and does a thorough analysis, making sure that you're adhering to best security practices, right? And so, and then if you don't, they make you go back and fix it and do it. There are some so there's two things you need to look at. One is you need to adhere to just good practices, especially if you're writing custom code like Visualforce and Apex. You need to make sure you adhere to good web security practices. But there are some also unique security things that if you're writing Apex code that you need to do. What I find is partners don't always read through that section. They ignore it. They get all the way through developing their app. They get into security view, which is kind of at the end stage, and they start failing security view, and they have to go back and change a majority of their app to fix that. And that's the biggest thing I see. So there is on the Trailhead a section on security view and what you need to do, and there's actually a lot of resources out on the developer website around what you need to look at for security view. Please look at those if you're going to build an app, because if you're going to stumble in the process I just talked about, that's where you're going to stumble. 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Oh, I'm going up. I'm going back in time. All right, any other quick questions? Yes, sir. No. Well, yes. You have to have, if you have a managed package and you want to be on the AppExchange, you need to go through security review. Unmanaged packages, as Maggie pointed out, we don't recommend them. They're really not designed for application distribution as part of the AppExchange program. So if you have an unmanaged package, you cannot be in our program. Okay, it's really designed for transport. It's really designed to move pieces of Salesforce from one org to another. That's what unmanaged packages do. It really wasn't designed for app distribution. And by using unmanaged packages, you lose a lot of benefits like push upgrades, manageability, code protection, stuff like that. That's why we don't recommend them.
Maybe I didn't ask my question.
Okay.
Can you do a managed package without going through security?
Well, you can create a managed package. You just cannot put it on the AppExchange without going through a security review. Yes?
On the business orgs, do you get access to like all the fun stuff, like Einstein, all the things that you would normally have to pay up for? Do you get access to those things so you can learn to develop with all the new things?
Right. So, right. Exactly. So when I talked about development environments, okay, the Environment Hub has a feature that allows you to spin up development and test environments with all the stuff turned on. It's a special feature of being a part of an ISV program. So you'll be able to go in and create a developer org or an enterprise level org, if you know what that is, with surveys turned on, Einstein turned on. It has communities licenses in it if you want to develop with communities and things like that. A lot of different stuff. All right? I think we need to leave now because we're going to get kicked out. So Maggie and I will be out on the hall. If you have any questions, we're happy to chat with you guys.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for your time.